So we've got a transfer Rondo game here today. I'm using 12 players. So I've got 4 reds, 4 blacks and 4 blues. We have the coach here on the sideline and we have the footballs with the coach. So just the yellow markers today are going to be the footballs. So the coach is going to start. He's going to pass the ball into one of the 2 wide areas. Okay, so the 4 players here in the middle right now are the wall, or they're the tennis net if you want to say it. They're going to try stop the ball going from the red side across to the blue side. Okay, now when the ball gets into the red, one of the black players can come in and try win the ball. So this becomes now a little 4v1, little rondo inside this square here. We don't want these 3 though to switch off. Okay, so this when you bring in now some of your coaching points. Okay, so if we look at the first player that goes in here, there we've got our press. Okay, so we've got our press from the first player. What we want our other players now to do is we want our other players to form that cover and the balance. Okay, so within a little transfer rondo, we're not just putting the ball in and letting it play. Can we get a little bit of pressure? Can we get a bit of cover? And can we get our balance as well in terms of it? So, as I said, coach starts with the footballs at the side. Coach is going to give a football in. The coach gets the football in. We want a bit of communication here from the 4 players in the middle, which are the blacks at the moment. Can we have a communication to decide who's going to go in and press? Okay. When the player goes in and presses, it's a 4v1. We're trying to win the ball back. These players, you might have a passing limit. So you might say you want the red team to get 3 passes before they can transfer to the blues. Okay, so as they're doing their passing, let's say as the ball gets transferred over here, you have your press, as I said here. Now can we get our cover? So can we get the communication from these 3 black players left to come across? We're shifting across as a unit. First player is going to form the cover. Okay, so they're going to get nice and high. Okay, and then we want to form our balance with our other 2 players. So instead of having this and a gap here that potentially we can break through, can we all shift across? We're going to come up. We're not going to get in line again, because if we get in line, we're going to break it through. So just a little bit behind. Okay, and then we can form our balance with the other player coming across. So what you're looking for is to make it very hard to get through here. If you want to say in your central area, okay, and you want to force the other team wide. Okay, so you're looking for the red team. Can they bounce it back and potentially get it across again? Now, if they get it across again, then we're looking for this shape to change. So now your cover comes here, your press or your balance comes across, and this player now is going to tuck in again. Okay, so again, we're stopping it getting through here. We're breaking that line there. We want to force them out again. Okay, so very important then, let's say if it does get across, and let's say we do switch it. Okay, we don't want the same player again going from through the middle all the way across. So can we get that communication again? And if we were to say to your team, who's the player presses, who first presses, the player that's close to the ball. So again, can we now get this player across to press? This player gets back in. Okay, and then we've got that communication again between our middle 3 to get that little bit of cover and balance. So again, now we've got a 4v1 here in terms of the blues against that black player. Okay, now if we have got a bit of pressure on here and the blacks win the ball back, okay, now the black player is going to switch it across to the red player, and here's when we got a switch. So now we've got the blue team have now got to get in and the black team come out. Okay, so now it's the blue team are going to be your tennis net, if you want to say, or your wall that you want to break through. Okay, so then it would be a blue player comes in now and presses it in a 4v1 here with your cover then and your balance formed as well. Okay, now what's going to happen if the blue player did win the ball and it ends up coming out of play? Just from a coaching organization point of view, the coach will be in this middle zone here with a number of footballs. So the minute this breaks down, to allow your session to continue, coach straight away pops a football into the opposite zone. Okay, so then we've got that press again from the closest blue player. Can we get our other 3 blues to get back in? And we keep our rondo going here with your little 4v1 inside this area then instead. Instead of waiting for the football to come back in or players waiting to get the football, coach starts with all the footballs right here in the middle. So it's good organisation to keep your session flowing. Okay, so we've done a lot on our defensive side. Now in terms of our attacking side, to retain the possession. So when we're inside this 4v1 rondo, we've got 4 players against 1. So we should definitely be able to get to the 3 passes. If you find you're getting to the 3 passes very soon or very early and at ease, then you might increase it to 5 passes, for example, depending on your players and the level you are. Now, just in terms of your coaching points, we don't want all our 4 players now inside here. Let's make sure, first of all, they use the space that they have. So let's get that width and let's get that depth. Okay, so you're looking for your width and your depth at the very start. Okay, so your width and your depth. All right, so all that means basically is let's find as much space as possible. Okay, or use the space that you have available. Now, if you look at the 4 players here, I have them on the sides. Okay, so can we get that player up and down, giving us an angle? So if that blue player cuts out this pass here, you don't want this player out of the game. Can he or she come down the sideline? Can he or she come down the sideline here? And we still got our 2 options. Okay, potentially can this player even come to here? So now is that pass on as well here? Okay, so it's about these players moving up and down the sidelines or the sides of the area that they're in the whole time. These blue players can't intercept. So if that ball goes there, we're fine. Okay, make sure these players get comfortable as well getting that touch of the football. Okay, what you don't want is you don't want your players in these corners. Okay, so let's get the players out of the corners, because if I now put a football there and this player comes down, it's a lot easier for that player to intercept that pass there and that pass there. Okay, so as I said, let's get them on the sides, up and down that sideline, giving plenty of options and getting the best angle as possible to give that pass. Okay, so you've got that width, you've got that space. Now, we're looking when we have this width and this depth, if we've got a ball here, we've got our pressure on, we've got our cover, we've got our balance. Now we want success for the players on the ball. So this player here, I want him or her, I don't want the closed body shape facing across here or facing the ball, facing back towards the ball. Can we get on the touchline? Can we see where the ball is coming from? And can we see where we want to go? So the minute this ball is switched back here, pops out across, can we even do a first time pass across down there? So we're looking for that pass to go across, little bounce back, across nice and quick before this player can get across, and it's a first time pass across. Okay, so we're looking to exploit that as quick as possible. Then again, we get that transfer. So player comes in, closest player to the ball will press, and we get the other 3 in again. Okay, and then it becomes a 4v1 on the other side. So again, it's about your speed of play, and a lot of first time passes as well. I go first time pass. Okay, so you're looking to do things quick. Let's move that ball quick. We're inside there. Plenty of transitions. Again, as I said, if the blue win the ball back, they're looking to transfer to the black team. Same again. Blues get out. Let's get that red team now in the central zone. 1 red goes across. So we've got that transfer rondo as well. Now, just a couple of little organization things. This middle zone here is only about 3 yards. We've got 10 here, and the overall distance is about 15 yards. So 2 15 by 10 zones, and this middle section is 15 by 3. Okay, again, you might make it bigger or smaller. If you throw an extra player in there, you might end up having 5 blues, 5 reds. You might make that space a little bit bigger then. Okay, so depending on the players that you have and the amount of players, you could do this with 15 players, and you have 5, 5, and 5. See yourself. And again, very important, coach stays here in the middle zone with the football, so we're keeping the flow of that game going the whole time. Okay, so hope you enjoy it. There's loads of variations. Again, you might actually say, now we're going to put that in there. Every time the reds win the ball back, let's just give it back to the blues, or we might pop it to the other zone, and we might leave the reds as the central players for maybe 2 minutes at a time. Swap the blues with the reds. Okay, so instead you're easing down the, if you want to say, the level of difficulty depending on the age group of your players as well. Enjoy.